Top 10 things to do in New Orleans. There are many awesome things to do in New Orleans, from bar hopping on historic Bourbon Street to gliding alongside alligators in the bayou and touring the city's haunted sites. With its unique blend of French, Spanish, Cajun, and American cultures, New Orleans offers many unforgettable experiences. Blues and jazz music engulf your soul, old European architecture challenges your imagination, and local dishes uniquely warm your heart in a New Orleans way. So let's dive into the video to know the top 10 things to do in New Orleans, and if you are traveling, go nowhere else and subscribe to our channel. Here we begin. Ride a Mississippi riverboat. The Mississippi riverboats in New Orleans will be forever ingrained in local culture, from Tina Turner and CRR songs to scenes in classic novels. To truly experience Dixieland, take a short cruise on one of these steam-powered paddle boats, complete with live jazz music, numerous day and night tours, ranging from Nat's X Steamboat to the Creole Queen. Even cruises frequently invest cocktails and dinner with live music, whereas daytime cruises focus on history and sightseeing. We prefer the day tours, which include information about the Louisiana Purchase, life on the Mississippi River, and the War of 1812. To learn more about the war, you will visit the Chalmette battlefield, where Thomas Jefferson defeated the British in the Battle of New Orleans in 1815. The Reine Beauregard Plantation Mansion, built in the 1830s and overlooking the battlefield, is also on the grounds. The Global Wildlife Safari. Who doesn't enjoy touring a 900-acre estate and hand-feeding free-roaming herds of giraffes and zebras? That fantasy can be realized just 1 hour north of New Orleans at the Global Wildlife Safari. We were hesitant to include another day trip outside of town in our list of the top 10 things to do in New Orleans, but looking back on previous visits, the safari was simply too much fun to pass up. You'll get to kiss, caress on the head, and say hello. They also have kangaroos, very cute camels, and a variety of other exotic animals that you will see during your visit. Have we mentioned how fantastic the location is? Go now, you'll be glad you did. Ghost and Vampire Tour. In New Orleans, there are almost as many ghost and vampire tours to choose from as there are bars on Bourbon Street. This is all for a good reason, as New Orleans is widely regarded as America's most haunted city. In addition, New Orleans folklore is bursting at the seams with superstitious locals, vampire legends, a voodoo history, and numerous horrific real-life events. These stories inspired hometown author Anne Rice to write famous horror novels set in New Orleans, and the city even served as a setting for an episode of the hit TV show American Horror Story. Live music on Frenchmen Street. They say that when traveling you should go to places where the locals eat and shop, so locals flock to Frenchmen Street to drink and listen to live music. You're bound to see a lot of great acts playing jazz live, blues, and funk, and the Spotted Cat and DBA, as well as our favorite Frenchmen Street bar, the Apple Barrel. One of our favorite nights in New Orleans was spent on Frenchmen Street, and we know you'll enjoy the contrast of Frenchmen Street, especially if you're only in town for a few days. Frenchmen Street street food is also some of the best in New Orleans. Visit Jackson Square. When New Orleans was founded in 1718, as it was a place known as the Place d'Armes. Today, Jackson Square is the head of Crescent City. The lush square, lined with the colorful horse carriages, was inspired by Paris's famous Place des Voix and is dominated by the iconic St. Louis Cathedral. The current cathedral, the third church on this site, has been visited by 2 popes since it opened in 1794. In addition, the historic building surrounding the cathedral now has delightful museums, such as the Old Spanish Town Hall and an elegant townhouse from the 1850s, when the city was at its peak. Examine the large central statue of General Andrew Jackson triumphantly riding a horse, after whom the square was renamed. Before becoming President of the United States, Jackson made secret war plans with local pirates and defeated the British at the Battle of New Orleans in 1815. Join a swamp and gator tour. An exciting swamp and alligator tour is a must-do for any New Orleans trip. Because the city was founded so close to the muddy bayou, the swamp is deeply ingrained in New Orleans culture. Year-round tour companies take you into a watery wonderland of hanging Spanish moss and cypress trees to spice up your backcountry experience. A trip to the swamp with the local guide is very educational because they point out tons of other wildlife along the way that give you a sense of what life is like on the water. Most tour companies will even let you handle a baby gator at the end of your visit as an added bonus. A swamp tour will undoubtedly be the most memorable of our top 10 things to do in New Orleans for many visitors. Explore Bourbon Street. Bourbon Street, named after the royal Bourbon family of France, is America's most exciting bar street. Bourbon Street's architecture is distinctively New Orleans, a city ruled by the French and Spanish before joining the United States. Many bars were private homes before being converted into taverns in the late 1800s, and the old world charm has been preserved. So all in one night, you can sip whiskey in a candlelit cottage that used to be a pirate's hideaway, try where Thomas Jefferson made battle plans, listen to live blues music, and sing your lungs out at one of the best karaoke bars on the planet. Attend the Mardi Gras Festival. When you hear New Orleans, it's difficult not to think of Mardi Gras, but what this once-in-a-lifetime experience is all about. Mardi Gras, or Fat Tuesday, has been celebrated in New Orleans since 1856, and the basics are very similar to Carnival in places like Brazil. The 14 days leading up to Fat Tuesday are the busiest days of the Mardi Gras Festival in New Orleans. Every year, Fat Tuesday is considered the last day for Christians to eat and drink whatever they want before the 30 days of Lent begins on Ash Wednesday. There will be numerous parades with large floats, primarily on the west side of the French Quarter and near the Garden District. As Mardi Gras royalty tosses beads and tokens from their elaborate floats, over-the-top costumes and music fill every inch of your senses. Mardi Gras is the best time to eat, drink, and have fun. Garden District Walk Tour. Spend a day in the Garden District for a peaceful respite from the hustle and bustle of Bourbon Street. When it was formed in the early 1880s from the Lavaudu plantation, this new neighborhood was intended to be the American answer to the French and Creole-dominated Vieux Carré, now known as the French Quarter. Instead, wealthy Americans would begin flocking to the Garden District after the Louisiana Purchase to urban mansion estates with block-long gowns and gardens. Many unique properties still stand today, giving us one of the best preserved neighborhoods of mansions from the 1800s in America. You're bound to recognize impressive mansions from a movie or two as you walk among the Magnolia and Oak-lined streets. The stately homes, home to authors, professional athletes, and actors, have inspired famous novels about ghosts and vampires. Tour the Plantation Mansions. Plantation Alley, alongside the Mississippi River just west of New Orleans, has the best collection of massive antebellum mansions in America. During your visit, you will learn about Southern plantation life, from the tiny slave quarters to the grand mansions. While you may be drawn to the mansions because of the impressive size and Gone with the Wind-like experience, your visit will be balanced by learning about the harsh history of slavery that drove the plantations, which can be emotional and somber. Plantation Alley is one of the top 10 things to do in New Orleans because of the grandeur and the history. What do you think of this list of things to do in New Orleans? Let us know your favorite in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload from our channel. Thanks for watching. Take care.